Truthers, I'm coming on tour in November and October.
Wow.
Amazing. I'm coming to some of the best cities in the country. I'm going to Guildford.
Big call.
Southend. Winchester. Yep. Do you want to make a noise about how much you like the city?
Sure.
Birmingham.
Yeah.
Brighton. Cardiff.
No.
Tunbridge Wells. No, that's a tough one, isn't it? It doesn't. Manchester. Cambridge. Swindon.
They are thick as fucking Swindon.
Bristol.
Oh, fuck my sister.
There we go. And then London.
Londonistan.
Live from live from Sadiq Khan's Londonistan.
If he even lets you do the show.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I don't think he will. By that point.
Yeah, if you support free speech, come to see me in Londonistan.
Raise the flag.
On the 29th of November.
You're going to be raising the St. George's flag at the special.
Doing 2 shows, early and late, special recording
Where
of the
is
show.
it?
Hoxton Hall.
That'll be a mosque by the 29th of November.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So get there before it turns into a bloody mosque.
Welcome back to Finn versus History. I'm joined by Horatio Gould.
This is it.
We're here. We've hit 1970. This is part 8.
Part 8, Christ.
Of our fucking marathon.
Yeah.
Through post-war British Prime Ministers, an audio-visual portrait of managed decline.
The podcast is grinding to a halt.
This is... No other podcast is doing this. No other podcast is doing a 10-part...
Now we found out why.
Yeah, because I'm genuinely making myself ill.
Yeah, I'm losing my voice because I haven't shut up about fucking Wilson, Alec Douglas Hume.
We've locked ourselves in a hot room during a heat wave to talk about post-war British Prime Ministers.
While you're all out in your booty shorts.
Yes. Whining Ponder Club and Notting Hill Carnival. These 2 esteemed public school boys are in a loft in Crystal Palace in suits with no air conditioning, talking about British imperial decline.
We won't know what's the right move for many years.
Who can say who's correct? You know? It's not really a hot girl summer.
No, it's not. It's a sweaty man.
It's a fusty, boring summer.
But this is sort of, we're coming now after, I mean, how long were you doing this podcast for now? 7 months?
I don't know.
I don't know. Fucking feels like years. But this is what the podcast perspective, if it's from anywhere, is from the 70s.
My perspective's from the 70s.
Exactly. It's looking back on what could have been while you're stuck in the 70s.
Yeah, I guess
pessimistically looking to the future.
Well, you have that thing about that guy Mark Fisher who says that all the future ends.
Yeah. We have no new visions of the future, but it's basically the 70s. I guess the left have quite like a asphyxiation with the 70s in many ways because it's like
asphyxiation.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a
autoerotic asphyxiation about the 70s.
Yeah.
Right.
Did I stutter?
Yeah. I think you meant fixation.
No.
You went, oh, okay, fine. Well, no, carry on then.
Yeah. So do you want to not interrupt me when I'm...
Sorry, I do apologise. I thought he can't have meant that, but it turns out he did. Mea culpa. I apologise. You were saying the left have an autoerotic asphyxiation on the 70s.
Yeah.
Do continue.
But basically, because we're now stuck in like a glitch from the 80s where it doesn't feel like anyone has new ideas since the 80s.
Politically, you mean?
Yeah, politically.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's culture on repeat, and it just feels like, I don't know, in many ways, time isn't moving in the same way it used to.
Well, so I read the bits of this book you sent. There's a guy called Mark Fisher who makes Adam Curtis look thick.
Yeah.
This guy, Mark Fisher, the guy from 1975, Matt Healy loves him.
Yeah.
There's a famous clip of Matt Healy talking about how if you played someone from the 60s music from the 90s, their head would explode.
Yeah.
But if you played someone from the 90s music from now,
they'd be shocked about
how similar it is. But my problem with Mark Fisher, firstly, he killed himself, which does make all his ideas.
Yeah, and I was reading a lot of his stuff at uni, and it was really like he really convinces you of his bleak worldview of kind of post-colonial. Yeah, and then you realised, you had just had depression.
You were just really sad. It's very funny.
You were chemically sad.
If you kill yourself, it does mean your ideas lose I do think that.
He's an amazing academic and a brilliant theorist, but it does undermine his points.
I think so. You go, oh, right, well, he was just really sad.
Yeah, because who knows how much was accurate analysis.
If he just had a biscuit at the right time, then maybe I would have think it's true, but he was just fucking depressed. But also, I think it's all framed around music, that argument. And I would say that culturally, at some point in the late 90s, 2000s, maybe the mid-2000s, because I feel like the 2000s are actually quite distinct musically with like new metal.
Yeah.
I think,
well, he says the last true new genre was garage and jungle music.
Right.
He says that was the last time it really felt
But I feel like culture carried on. It's just that at some point in the mid-noughties, we stopped caring about music and we started caring about brunch. And that's when culture shifted from music to brunch.
Right.
Because that's actually what culture, there was a brunch era in my head that's defined as
the millennial era.
Yeah. The millennial era. The brunchies.
The Brunch Years by Finn Taylor.
Yeah. A food obsession memoir. No, you have soul, pop, the Beatles, you have punk, Bowie, you have ska, disco, jungle garage,
fucking
new
grime.
metal, brunch.
Right.
That's what happened.
Right.
And that's probably why he got depressed.
What, because the music stopped and the brunch started?
Yeah. Because my generation, when we were his generation, we weren't going to see Bowie or fucking the Sex Pistols. We were eating smashed avocado. So that's what happened at some point.
So your generation killed Mark Fisher?
Yes. And it tasted delicious. But we're not here to talk about Mark Fisher. We're talking about, we've got to Ted Heath.
The point I was trying to say about the 70s in general is it was kind of like, it was a period where they clearly needed new ideas.
Yeah, and they hadn't.
What those new ideas could have kind of been, there's lots of different options. It felt like a turning point where something new was going to come in, and what that was.
Could have been mummy, could have been daddy.
But even like, a lot of the things that started in the 80s, I don't know, in the 70s, snooker was more popular than football for a brief period.
Yeah, amazing.
So like all these things that we're so used to now are things, like it was just all upside down in the 70s. Yeah. And kind of like, it's sort of, since the 80s, all these things have sort of slowly solidified and haven't really changed in that way culturally.
Yeah, I agree. And the 70s, the country could have gone. The 70s, I think we need to recap. We've hit the 70s,
Evil
right?
Knievel was going in the 70s. He was a massive star. Yeah. Nothing like that's happened since.
That's true. So the 70s, it's still Clement Attlee's Britain economically. Yeah. In the last sort of 5 or 6 years, the country's undergone this huge social transformation where you can be gay and you have to wear a seatbelt.
You can fist in public.
As long as you don't go on about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fist in the privacy of your own.
Yeah, you have to wear a seatbelt while fisting.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Of course.
It's health and safety. It's
gone mad.
Pro-gay, pro-health and safety.
So you have to. So the country's undergone this huge social change. Economically, though, it's still Attlee's Britain. Except the problem is that in a globalised economy, increasingly everything costs so much, and everything is nationalised. So we must explain to our very thick listeners, this means the government is in charge of wages for a lot of the economy. Yeah. So because the oil chaos sort of goes on, the Middle East is in chaos from the sort of mid-60s onwards, it basically means that Britain is constantly in a period of high inflation. And hilariously...
You were in a period of high inflation for a while.
I was, yes. What I was going to say was that it's hilarious how Ted Heath has a thyroid complaint, and as a symbol, he's literally inflating throughout the 70s as the economy inflates. But I too had a period of I had stagflation, which is where the portion sizes don't get any bigger, but you do. Somehow, I kept getting bigger. Between the ages, I'd say 7 and 12, I was in an economic doom spiral. Where no matter how little I ate, somehow I kept getting bigger. To the point where I was, as I've said before, I was kicked out of a Pizza Hut buffet for, it turns out it wasn't all you can eat. It wasn't all I could eat. That was
all one could eat.
The average child could eat. But at this point, I was probably giving peak Ted Heath a run for his waist size. Yeah. We're on to Ted Heath today. Ted Heath, who is maybe my favourite of the Prime Ministers. He is noted as being an incredibly rude person.
The rudest man to ever take office.
Particularly dismissive of journalists and or women.
Does not like women.
No.
But in a way that kind of transcends misogyny.
Yes.
He just really...
It's almost like he doesn't see women. It's like people say, like, I'm not racist, I don't see colour. I don't see women.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I'm not sexist. They don't even enter my view.
Yeah, it's not like he's saying lewd comments about women.
No.
It doesn't even cross his mind.
He genuinely...
He's beyond misogyny.
He has moved beyond misogyny to the fact where he doesn't see them at all. He doesn't think about them.
He never married.
Famously.
Died single.
Yeah.
Just really had no interest.
Women got in the way of politics and of playing the grand piano.
He also got accused of being a paedophile, which is what happens when you don't get married to a woman. You will be accused of being a paedophile in this country.
Yes, that's a very British thing. If you don't marry, it's like with people who don't drink. You go, well, what do you mean you don't drink?
Are you a paedophile?
Are you a paedophile? It's the same. What do you mean you're not married? You're not. So Ted Heath is told several times to like marry for his career, and it's steadfastly boycott. Yeah. No, I'm not getting married. I don't see women.
Yeah, he Jeffrey boycotts the institution of marriage.
Yeah, we should, as we have done, we should set the scene of the era before we discuss the political backdrop. 1970, unemployment rate is nearly 4%.
Right,
it's starting to go up. Yeah. The house price is nearly $5,000. Yeah. We're importing
61 grand.
We're importing butter, beef, and cheese. Okay. We're mainly exporting cars.
Yeah.
Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West, is number one.
Benny Hill.
You've got Simon and Garfunkel. The 70s is also the low point of all of the English football team.
Yes.
They don't qualify.
Also, cricket, low point for cricket as well.
It's a disastrous point for cricket.
This is number one.
Yeah.
Here's a banger.
It's a banger. His name, Ernie.
This is the early Gunfinger.
Ernie.
Mate, this DJ's sick.
You're out there whining to fucking 50 Cent or whoever, and we're in here in suits throwing guns up to Ernie. So that absolutely slaps. MASH is on TV. Coronation Street.
Yeah.
This Is Your Life.
Yeah.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Lazenby, Australian Bond. A great film.
The Godfather films are coming out in this period. It's the high point of American cinema.
Now, fittest women, we've got Janice Dixon. So the hair is getting curlier.
The first supermodel. And this is kind of the height of the 70s. Like, certainly America, it's the height of the Bush being in, right?
Well, I was going to say, we need to talk about slang for tits as knockers and jugs, but actually we need to talk about the slang for growlers. Yeah. Because this is where the Bush comes. This is where the Bush dynasty starts. The Bush dynasty starts in the 70s.
One of the great
I call it the Bush dynasty. Which Bush have we seen today? Is it senior or junior? The Bush did, my wife's Bush did 9/11. What are they calling a growler?
Well, so knockers and jugs, it's getting a bit fucking... They're starting to hit these for six a bit more.
Yeah, so we've gone from...
It's a bit more no-nonsense. Puppies is a bit more leathery.
Puppies is disgusting. It's still my... So, cunt, twat and box.
It's good. Yeah, the economy is hitting the floor.
Yeah, and people are getting a bit earthier with their language.
Yeah, the drinks are getting stronger. The slang's getting harder.
Twat and box. Honeypot.
These are Yiddish terms.
Like nish or schmundy. All right, love, show us your schmundy. You've also, I read somewhere that they started calling women's vaginas Map of Tasmania.
Right.
Because it apparently looks like Tasmania.
Oh, right. Okay.
Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
In terms of the
Touch
food...
Touch of Serengeti.
Hey, what?
Touch of Serengeti.
Touch Serengeti about her. In terms of the food, this is a real... it's not a high bar British food, but this is
it's experimental, though.
We really enter on nadir as the 70s, food-wise. Prawn cocktail, fondue, Black Forest gatto, chicken, Kievs and Finder's crispy pancakes.
Come on.
The crisps. Yeah. Crisps start, really, in the 70s. Our obsession with crisps. In terms of what we're calling women's tits... That earthiness is reflected in the seediness of the age.
Seediness of the age, the decor, it's all browns, it's dandruff, it's fucking... There's just pollution.
The liquid lunch. This is the height of the liquid lunch.
So much smoke everywhere.
Just drinking.
Tiredness.
Everyone is fucking drunk at all points to get through.
There's a grain to it. Yeah.
There's that clip of the liquid lunch. Yeah. Have we shown that before?
We have shown that. Do you know what that was? The BBC Archive liquid lunch. It's pretty fucking depraved and uncivilized. to fucking get absolutely cunted at lunch.
Yeah.
It's still the 70s. There's still a hangover from kind of the proper way of speaking.
Yeah.
So it'll be well-tailored gentlemen in a way.
Yeah, getting absolutely
Managing to like,
cunted.
and it's one of the great British privileges is being able to sort of justify depravity
by just the nature of your voice.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes, of course. Pint of beer and a pound of lunch, yes. No more than that? Have you ever eaten more than that for lunch? Rarely. What would you say if I told you that you're probably doing the worst possible thing for your health by just having a highly calorific drink and a highly calorific lunch? I wouldn't believe it. If I was to worry as much as you suggest I should about what I eat and drink, it would do me more harm than doing what I like.
That's fucking amazing.
That's great.
I wouldn't believe you. Wouldn't believe you. Wouldn't believe you.
There's a class to it though. You're fucking
There is.
nailing cans at lunch. I mean, no, I wouldn't possibly believe it.
What
I
if
think worrying would do me a lot more harm.
What if I was to tell you you're doing the worst thing possible? I wouldn't believe you. Would not believe you. Couldn't believe you. Unfathomable to me. So we should start by saying that Heath has become leader.
Yeah.
He has somehow managed to wrestle the leadership from the titan of Alec Douglas Hume.
Yeah.
In his shadow.
This is all in the shadow.
Everything. This entire history is in the shadow of Douglas Hume. Heath has wrangled the leadership somehow.
Yeah.
A shock.
Yeah.
And in 1968, so he won it. There was a three-way contest in the Tory party leadership between Heath, Douglas Hume, and Enoch Powell, who we touched on slightly last time. But Enoch Powell is this insanely academic race baiter.
Yeah.
Who, well, to some, to
Racism's
others,
never sounded so good.
it does sound very good. I mean, it is worrying how good it sounds.
Because nowadays you have someone who's like, let's send back the Muslimics.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be like, if you ever get a talking head interview at like an EDL rally.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no one's going to fucking listen to you.
Well, the middle classes aren't listening.
Yeah,
but the
you've
problem
got
with
a
Powell,
flare up your arse.
Yeah.
And you're saying, stop the bar.
The problem with Powell is that the middle classes are fucking listening to what he's saying because he's making parallels with the Greek civilization.
Professor in Greek.
He's a scholar and a racist.
He was nearly the youngest professor basically of all time. He was trying to beat Nietzsche's record of 24 and he was 25 when he became a professor. The youngest professor in the British Empire.
Many advantages when Britain was the centre of an empire, and if the numbers from the rest of the empire who availed themselves of this identification remained small, then no problem arose. But the rest of the empire had its own citizenships.
Isn't it amazing how this now is basically just the AI TikToks of London in 2030? Like that's what that same argument has become, and it's never been more articulate and effective than actually Enoch Powell.
Enoch has a quite strange voice because it's that like it's a deep black country Brummy accent.
Yeah, but it's very sophisticated and
but because he's
and articulate.
one of the most educated men of the time.
Yeah,
it's like a strangled Brummy cat.
Yeah,
you know, there's like the Brummy's being choked out, but it's still there.
It's the cat in the bin that's talking back after the woman from Coventry's put it in. Don't put me in this bin. Where are you actually from? Yeah, that actually.
Yeah. So are we saying make racism great again?
I think make it at least intelligent again. Why is racism now just so thick? Like, who is articulating it with this sort of devastating clarity? I mean, Powell's also actually is, before Rivers of Blood, he is the rising star. Everyone thinks he's the one that's going to lead the Tories.
Very
and beat
intense
Wilson.
man, Powell.
I think part of the issue is he looks fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and he just like, apparently he never socialised at Cambridge. He was always in the library, always studying, just very self-serious.
But immigration had immediately in the Attlee kind of early 50s, they basically say if you're in the Commonwealth, if you're a member of the British Empire, you can come and make a life in the motherland, in the home country.
So that's Windrush.
And Windrush and all that. And they basically think no one's going to fucking come, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fucked here.
We won't put a limit on it because it's fucked here and it's really sunny where you are.
Yeah,
and then
it's the classic British thing. Yeah, but it's lovely where you live.
Yeah.
Look at the fucking...
the weather's
it's
shit.
raining here.
Yeah. And then everyone comes and it's only in, I think it's maybe it's Macmillan or Wilson who actually starts to put a cap on
Right.
it. And then Powell is opposing. In 68, he makes a speech to oppose Wilson's policy of the Race Relations Act, which would... I think that then means that's incitement to violence.
Yeah, it's the beginning of hate speech laws.
Beginning of hate speech laws. So he goes up and makes quite a hateful speech.
Yeah.
To try to
We'll get one in
that.
under the door before the band comes in.
Indiana Jones with getting his hat out of the door. In 15 or 20 years' time, the black man will have the whip hand over the white man.
Yeah.
All that stuff. He talks about, like the Roman, I see the river Tiber foaming with much blood.
And that was that. So it's called the Rivers of Blood speech. But
Yeah.
why is it called the Rivers of Blood? And what does the Rivers of Blood actually mean in reference to the speech? Because he's talking about...
He's talking about a race war, basically.
But like the Roman, I see the river Tiber foaming with much blood.
Is there something about the Rome letting in people who weren't Roman, barbarians?
Right.
Maybe, is that what he's saying? I don't know.
what is it? Enoch Powell's speech living in Birmingham.
Virgil's Aeneid.
See, look,
he's referencing the classics.
Intellectual hinterland that he can retreat to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. He's a professor for Greek at age 25. It's insane. Anyway, Heath's reaction to this as leader is to the next day, because it's just, no one knows he's making the speech, and he just does it straight to TV and blindsides the entire Tory leadership. So Heath's reaction is to just sack him straight away.
Yeah.
And yet, Powell, much in the way that you have this constant sort of nowadays breakaway right of the Tory party, gets so much letters of like response.
What percentage of people supported his speech? It was
he said it was between 85 and 95 of the country.
I think it was 68%.
Something like that. So basically the fractures of the Tory party, the modern Tory party, start with Enoch Powell, really. And Heath is a bit of a... Well, let's get on to him as a person. But Heath founds the One Nation Tory group in the 50s. Yeah. But anyway, let's now start talking about Edward Heath.
He's quite a modern politician.
He is, actually.
Yeah.
He's a paedophile. He's cutting edge. Allegedly, we don't know. Yeah. So let's talk about young Ted Heath, because the reason I love Ted Heath is that we all went to school with someone like him. A fucking boff.
Yeah.
He's a fucking swot. He's a teacher's pet. He's his parents' favourite kid.
Yeah.
His family dog is named after him.
Yeah.
I mean, the level of ego they're building up in this.
Well,
this boy.
So he was clearly a bit of a prodigy, a bit of a smart kid, similar to Wilson in that way. But his parents then chose him as like the prodigal son, and he was so spoiled, and his brother must have absolutely hated him.
He was allowed to not wear anything for breakfast.
So everyone had to dress up for breakfast and stuff because it was the fucking 70s, or it won't be the 50s then.
Yeah, but he could just come down in like a little dressing gown.
He could come in a fucking in a kimono.
Imagine coming down, just sauntering down in your dressing gown.
He had his own chair where he could do his homework.
He had a special chair.
He had a special chair to do his.
So funny.
Yeah, he was a prefect. He'd tell on people for breaking the school rules because he thought he was deeply disloyal to the school.
Yeah,
he was one of these kind of guys.
A fucking spot.
They named their fucking dog after him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Teddy.
And all this, right, you get this, is the family were poor, but he's a massive social climber, gets a scholarship to a private school, and he goes to Oxford, and he's a key musician, and obviously he's in his woolen shorts practicing the piano every day, blah, blah, blah. Gets an organ scholarship to Oxford, was allowed not to do the washing up. You know, he's an absolute spot. When he's at Oxford, he goes on this tour of the 30s Germany.
Right.
So he goes to a Nuremberg rally.
One of the first politicians to go out there, right?
But he's not a politician. He's a young. He's like, this is his gap year.
Yeah.
Imagine your gap year going to a Nuremberg rally. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Just look how gap years have changed.
They really have.
Now you're going to Uganda to help build a toilet. And in the 30s, people were going to a Nuremberg rally, going, "Wow, this guy's got some crazy ideas."
But he was
He said of the spectacle, impeccably well organised and immensely impressive. It made me recognise for the first time what a fearsome threat Hitler and his forces would be.
Yeah.
In a dreadful way, Hitler's rhetoric gave the Germans the leadership and sense of nationhood that they sought. He made them feel good about being German.
Yeah. At a cocktail party hosted by SS, Heath met high-ranking Nazis, including Göring, Goebbels, and Himmler. He described shaking hands with all officials he met. He thought poorly of the officials that he met. Goebbels was small, pale, and in the setting rather insignificant-looking. I shall never forget how drooping and sloppy Himmler's handshake was when he offered it to me. I wonder how such a physically unimpressive man could have harboured such evil.
Just Himmler's just wet handshake.
I mean, that was the whole nut to high command. It was incels taking over.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But so Heath supposedly, because one of the big things in Heath's tenure is the getting us into Europe.
Yeah.
So supposedly this is where he starts to form this idea of groupie. He also goes to the Spanish Civil War and gets like shot at.
Oh, really?
His car gets
So
like
he's
machine
nosy.
guns.
Yeah, I mean, all of these figures have lived extraordinary young lives.
Yeah.
Living through extraordinary times.
That's why they're now drunk all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's a massive. It's not a coincidence that the liquid lunch ends sort of in the 80s, or at least
where the war generation dies.
Yeah, they're all dying off.
Yeah.
And I think Callaghan being the last actual veteran Prime Minister makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's why they're not touching any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because they think we all lived through a war, we're all drunk all the time.
But Heath was anti-appeasement because he was pretty like intuitive about the threat of Nazism.
And so he's in support of anti-Franco forces in Spain. Blah blah blah. His car's machine gunned. His hotel's bombed. He escapes Europe by hitchhiking. Arrives back in the UK days before World War II breaks out.
Christ.
So and he serves in the war. And he was an officer in the artillery. He gave orders at one point to a firing squad to kill a Polish soldier convicted of rape.
Christ.
Crazy. So again, the sort of the latent trauma in all the politicians of this era is like
he
mad.
describes feelings of victory being squashed when walking on newly won territory covered by dead bodies.
Yeah, and then he's just in office negotiating with the unions. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
In 1970, he wins the election as a sort of surprise.
Yeah.
Everyone expects Wilson to
get
carry
another
on,
one, but I guess the
and he
economy
he overturns quite a big majority. Wilson's got like a 60-seat majority.
Yeah.
And then Heath wins a 30-seat majority.
And it's basically on the economy again.
Yeah. Because, as we've said, there's been a massive amount of social change, which Enoch Powell is trying to stir up.
Yeah.
And yet the economy is still at least Britain.
Yeah.
And yet, with the Middle East kicking off, it's getting more and more expensive for the government to pay all the the miners and shit. And so Heath wins on the economy.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Low voter turnout. He also he's got a yacht. He's an amazing sailor. He's a yachtsman.
Yeah.
Which again is slang for probably being a paedophile. In the election campaign,
he won the Sydney to Hobart yacht race. If you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. Isn't that insane? You imagine a political candidate just winning a yacht race in Australia during an election campaign. Why is he going to Australia during the election campaign to win a yacht race? And everyone's like, fucking hell, this guy's sick.
He won like 330 seats.
Yeah. It's also a time of like bombs are going off everywhere.
The IRA is now really kicking up because they're aiming for the mainland now.
Yeah. Well, Bloody Sunday happens under Heath, which we did a series on the Troubles.
And the British public have just been ignoring the IRA because it's all just having a Northern Ireland. Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a shit? Yeah.
And then, to be fair to them, they come over here and we start giving a shit.
Yeah. To be fair. Oh, that's who they are, right? No,
to be fair I'm
enough.
listening.
Yeah, I am listening. But the initial terror doesn't come from the IRA. It comes from the most hilariously student name for a protest movement.
Yeah.
We're the Angry Brigade.
That's a Telegraph coined term for
basically,
lefties.
It's like the
Corbynites.
Woke Brigade.
Yeah.
It's literally the Woke Brigade.
Yeah.
A far-left anarchist terror group formed in London, active from 70 to 72, and they're responsible for numerous bombings on business properties, government, and one of members of Heath's cabinet.
Yeah.
But they bomb Miss World 1970.
Right.
Disgraceful.
What, because of beauty standards?
I guess because of
body
beauty standards.
positivity?
I don't know what their fucking problem is. Charlie, can you
maybe they hate the bush? Because I imagine Miss World 97...
it's because South Africa had two entries, one white and one black. Are you joking?
That's naughty.
Well, hang on. But there wasn't two categories for Miss World then.
But do you think they were... Yeah, but do you think they were just mainly annoyed the fact that South Africa got two chances to win Miss World? Or are they just like more purists?
The integrity of this competition is ruined because South Africa have played two.
Yeah.
So Miss World allowed them to enter... Because surely the thing to do in response to that would be to crown the black Miss South Africa as Miss World.
Yeah.
So you got Gillian Jessup as Miss South Africa and Pearl Jansen as Miss South Africa South.
Miss Africa
Miss
South.
Africa South. Is that,
South Africa South.
sorry, no, you got South Africa and Africa South.
Yeah. Oh right.
So South Africa white and Africa South is black.
It's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
And so they bomb a BBC TV van in response to this.
Yeah.
They bomb the department.
Anti-Franco
That's
protests.
crazy. Entering different races into Miss World. So, because I mean,
It was a mad time, the 70s. Everything.
There's a future where Miss World is just a sort of ranking races attractively competition.
Yeah.
And that's probably what South Africa wanted.
Yeah.
They bomb. Oh my word! They bomb someone called William Batty.
Come on.
Oh, come on.
Billy Batty.
He's been through enough.
Billy Batty's been through enough. His school days must have been worse than Heath's.
Yeah.
He's the director of Ford Dagenham's plant that had practiced unequal pay based on gender, and his house was
Is that
bombed.
film about the Dagenham ladies thing? Is that is that about the Dagenham
Batty?
Billy Batty.
Billy Batty's house is bombed. Again, that sounds like a coarsening euphemism.
Yeah.
Oh, William Batty, his back door was bombed by the Angry Brigade, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, Batty's back door got caved in by the Angry Brigade, if you know what I mean. The Angry Brigade's leaders are arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison in 72. My point is, this is like, punk is on the way in.
Yes.
Towards the end of the decade, we'll have punk. People are getting fucking angry.
Music's good in this period, right?
Music gets good, but then the fucking women's minges are angry.
It's growlers.
It's the growlers. When does
They're hairy and angry.
They're angry. you know the clip of that Australian guy barking.
Minges are angry. That's
Women's minges are
crazy.
It's feminism. It's CEND. I asked my mum what it was like growing up in the 70s. She was like, it's not the... Yeah, people were wearing hairy minge badges.
Yeah.
Charlie, can you get the clip up of the Australian man who barks like a dog?
Yeah. What is this? Is this women's minges in the 70s?
This is women's minges in the 70s. You try and have sex with them. This is it. This is women's minges in the 70s.
This is when you pull down a woman's pants in the 70s.
Just made in time for these angry minges. People on their front gates, husbands are putting "Beware of the hairy minge" on the front gate so that postman can know. Nothing worse for a postman than an angry growler. The 70s, I imagine, when do Brazilians come in? Is that in the 60s?
What do you mean?
I mean,
come in? Oh,
no,
sorry.
No.
Sorry.
I'm not Enoch Powell sense. This country's got too many Brazilians.
It's fine.
And I don't mean the people. River. This river.
I think it's the... No, yeah. Charlie, please stop getting
Charlie, people know what a hairy muff is.
Yeah.
They don't need to see it.
Yeah.
This is an audio medium, okay?
Just to set the scene.
No, we don't need to set the scene. We're talking about Ted Heath. It's not the history of growlers, although it is.
The Brazilian comes in, it's the 80s. It's the economic inequality.
Mummy's
it's the aspirational thing.
You think Thatcher's got a Brazilian?
I think so. I reckon so.
He's got a landing strip. He's got an aircraft carrier. He's got the Belgrano down there.
Yeah, quickly to be deployed to near the Antarctic.
Thatcher's Falkland Islands.
Doesn't seem to know when exactly it came in.
The trend of the Brazilian.
When did it start?
1990s, apparently.
1990s. So it's Blair's Britain. Or it's Major. Major likes a Brazilian.
Major legalised sodomy. Do you know that?
Did he?
Yeah.
My wife had a massive crush on John Major.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah.
What was the... You know how it's a Brazilian? What was everyone just like Scottish before? Like what is the...
Oh, what, the opposite of a Brazilian is a Scottish? Which is just
Scottish. Is that when...
Couldn't be more hairy.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like down the thighs.
Bagpipes.
Because that's the noise.
Oh, what clown is... What clown is that kill? It's my hairy minge. Oh, Christ.
It's a growler clan. The McGrowlers. I'm part of the McGrowlers. We're fucking angry. That's how they sound.
Yeah.
Because you look at a Brazilian binge and it's like, oh, shush.
Yeah.
It's bossa nova. It's all like,
yeah, it's a bar fight in Glasgow.
You pull down a woman's angry Scottish minge. You're like, what are you looking at, pal? You want some? Anyway, the growlers are getting hairy. It's an angry time. So let's talk about the miners' strike in 72.
Yeah.
Because 72 Bloody Sunday happens, it's all kicking off in Northern Ireland, but the miners go on strike for the first time since 1926. Now they're angry at their rate of pay not increasing equally alongside the other manufacturing industries. Because what would happen, right, is that there are like hundreds of unions.
Yeah.
So one of them goes into Downing Street, negotiates a pay increase, and then suddenly all the other ones go, well, fuck off, we want the same.
Yeah.
So it is like... Now, Wilson is trying to do this like through the back door, through William Batty's house. Wilson's trying to do this by getting like
The Angry Brigade to
salmon
break in
and
Batty's back door.
the Angry Brigade has stormed Wilson's back door, and so Wilson had a whole thing about like, oh, it's you're coming in for beer and sandwiches, and actually it was white wine and smoked salmon, but none of the union leaders wanted to be seen to be being that effete.
Because in Germany, apparently, there's like 2 unions that control everything.
Yeah.
So you just negotiate with 1 or 2 of them, and it's all sorted.
Done. But the fact there are hundreds here, you know, there's a union of fucking dustbin men. There's a union. All your
anything
different,
that's important.
all your different bins. There's a different union. There's a union of food bin collectors. There's a union of recycling bin collectors.
Yeah.
There's a union of fucking Specsavers or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Glasses wearers.
So then everyone, because of the Specsavers strike,
everyone's just like, what? And so Heath's idea is like, do you know what? This has to stop at some point.
Yeah.
Because I am inflating. The country's inflating.
My thyroid cannot take
my
all
thyroid
these strikes.
can't take all these strikes.
I don't know. It seems like an awful work day.
13 million members.
But just think about Heath's daily schedule.
Yeah.
Every morning he must wake. How long does he sit on the end of his bed with a sock in his hand? Just. Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah. It's a fucking shit day.
Yeah.
Bombs going off.
Yeah.
Another a coal miner's coming in asking
Who
for
do you
more.
want?
I fucking gave
Fuck
I gave
off.
you what you. Oh, for
Fuck off. So he's reported to
And
have
he's
said-
already the rudest man.
He's already the rudest man. He's reported to have said about his own party, there are 3 types of people in this party: shits, bloody shits, and fucking shits.
Yeah, he hates the Tories.
He hates them all.
Yeah.
At one point, there's an amazing story about how he's on a plane with some journalists,
Yeah.
and one of the journalists, like a woman journalist, faints, and he goes, "Quick, fetch some brandy."
Brandy, quick,
And
brandy.
then someone brings brandy, and rather than give it to the journalist who's fainted, he just nails it himself. He's just like, a woman's fainted, fuck that. He's the most phenomenally rude man.
Yeah.
I love him
If
so
he's
much,
like
but
sat next to a woman at like a big dinner, he will just turn his back on her.
he'll just sulk. And she'll speak to him and he'll be like,
Where's the bloke, love?
wait, so he's the definition of
where's the bloke, love?
Where's the bloke?
Where's
Where's the bloke?
Where's the bloke, love?
So actually, Thatcher's kind of a massive snapback against this.
Yeah. And he partly hates Thatcher because she's a woman.
He hates Thatcher because she's a woman. Yeah. The only woman he has any respect for is his mother, and that's because his mother named a dog after him, gave him his own special chair.
So basically, she set such a high bar for women that
they can never clear
woman,
it. Yeah. She is such a good mother to him, or over-mothers him, that he finds all other women sexually repulsive.
Because nothing beats mummy.
She nurtures him into a paedophile. Maybe. We don't know.
We don't know.
Anyway, so the miners are demanding in 72 a 47% pay increase.
Christ.
The government offered 9%, which causes a deadlock. So they strike in 72, and they're striking during a very cold winter. So Heath declares a state of emergency, which he will do, I think, 4 times during his. Which by the 3rd time, people were like, well, "Fuck it." You know, as a Prime Minister, if you call a state of emergency once,
if
4 times.
If everything's in bold, nothing's in bold.
No, exactly.
It doesn't mean anything.
So the whole Cobra starts in response to this.
Oh, really?
So Heath is trying to be like strong on the unions in the way that Thatcher later actually will be.
Yeah.
But he caves. I mean, at one point in 1971, Rolls-Royce goes under, and Heath saves them, and actually they go on to work. So that's actually an example of like the Tories saving a company that then goes on to be profitable again. But everything else, they're just pumping money into, and it's just all failing.
It's failing.
So,
but he's like, why he's a modern politician is he's a true like technocrat. Something almost Cameron-esque about him, like the Cameron Blair sort of thing. Of let's get round the table, let's work it out, let's compromise. Something that Thatcher wasn't. Thatcher was quite idealistic in many ways, and like, you know, strong-willed. Mummy, yeah. But he's just
you don't compromise with Mummy.
He thinks everything we worked out with facts, figures, and working out around the table.
You don't compromise. Mummy tells you to go to bed. You go to bed.
Yeah.
You don't say, "Oh, what if I sleep on the sofa?"
But basically, what I find quite like
the sofa's not for sleeping. I miss Mummy.
Yeah, the woman's not for shaving.
The woman's not for shaving. A woman's growler is her power. A woman's power is in her growler. This woman's not for shaving.
I think the reason why I like the 70s as well is it's very soothing learning about this, because it feels like everything's been so fucked. And it's really good to be reminded how things were so much worse.
Things have never been worse than even the Blitz is better than this.
But like and even like, because at least there was some like community, there was a spirit.
Exactly.
We were in it together.
Yeah, no one's in it together.
Just drunk and like
everyone's drunk, hates everyone.
Yeah. There's no wartime spirit here.
So he eventually caves and gives the miners something. I don't know what. But 16%.
But basically, he's given everyone a pay increase and then leaving the country very vulnerable to external shocks.
Yes.
And then the biggest external shock we've had since the war.
Yeah.
happened.
And then four days before the Cold Board come back to agree to their 16%, the Yom Kippur War kicks off, which is the Arab countries invade Israel, and then very quickly the Israelis, or was that the 6-Day War? I don't know. Anyway, it all kicks off down there.
But it's interesting how similar it feels to the 70s now. Like the fucking energy shortages,
Russia,
crisis
Ukraine.
in Israel and Palestine. So much of the things we're going through now have happened in the 70s.
Yeah. So
basically it was a coalition of Egypt and Syria doing a surprise attack against Israel.
over the Yom Kippur festival.
And as Israel does, slaps back pretty hard, I imagine.
And it starts on the 6th of October, which is the whole point about Hamas doing it on the 7th of October, because it's a holy day in the calendar. So that's why there's that symmetry nowadays.
Yeah.
So, but
then basically, as soon as that starts, anyone who is overtly or covertly supporting Israel gets absolutely fucked by the OPEC, which is the oil producing nations.
Yeah.
Where basically the price of oil goes from $2 a barrel in 1972 to $11 a barrel.
Yeah.
So it's up fucking 70-80%.
So this basically means the miners have got Heath's balls in a vice because the country can't afford to either pay the miners what they want or import
All
oil.
fuels.
So all fuels off the table.
This is when they turn the tap off.
The Middle East turns the lights off.
Hello?
Anyone there? Because now, before we get to the 3-day week, we should actually talk about Europe.
Yeah.
Because the whole time, Heath's gamble or Heath's idea is that the empire's completely gone.
Yeah.
The empire's fucked.
Yeah.
Macmillan and Wilson have seen that off.
Yeah.
There's no empire left. Heath is like, let's tie ourselves into Europe finally. And
De Gaulle's vetoed our entrance
De Gaulle's
twice.
dead by this point. De Gaulle's fucked off.
And there's a new president called George Pompidou.
Yeah,
And basically, Heath manages to convince Pompidou to not veto.
Yeah, and so the UK joins what's then the EEC in 1973, which Heath sees as his greatest achievement.
I mean, it's probably his most lasting one, and even that's been...
even that's been fucked off.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. We'll get to more Europe later. But the 3-day week kicks off from New Year's Day, 1974.
Do your parents talk about the 3-day week?
Yeah, there's an amazing Heath's Christmas message. Have you seen this? In 1973 is we will have a harder Christmas than we've seen since the war. Basically, you remember when Boris cancelled Christmas during COVID? Yeah. That's basically what Heath did.
Yeah.
But there was no virus.
Yeah. Cancel culture.
You'll all have to tighten your belts.
Yeah. This is a time of very bleak political messages saying it's just going to get harder and harder.
Yeah, there's no hope. There's no, it's the opposite.
Let's have a listen.
Obama, like, hope, that poster. Yeah. It's just Heath with shit. Everything's shit.
We set ourselves for expansion and for our standard of living. We shall have a harder Christmas than we have known since the war.
Christ.
Right? So,
it's so
we have to
fucking
postpone
bleak.
living standards.
Yeah.
We'll just have to postpone it. Imagine the Prime Minister coming and saying...
Indefinitely postponed.
Right, living standards. Watching... So what this means, 3-day week, electricity consumption...
Because everyone complaining about their bills rising.
You've got nothing on this.
They turn off everything for 4 days a week.
Yeah, businesses can only open for 3 days a week, and if that means if you want to do 5 days, you have to pick morning or afternoon session.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. So non-essential shops, factories, offices closed. Petrol rationing. 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Can you fucking imagine the anger? You know when you don't drive?
No.
Charlie, you know when you're doing like average speed limit 50 miles an hour?
Drives me mad.
Drives me fucking up the wall.
Why?
It's the most painful for your foot because you're in like in between 4th and 5th. So, petrol rationing. Most pubs are closed. TV, they turn the TV off at 10:30. That's when match of the day fucking starts.
Yeah.
This is when Premier League games, or what's then First Division, they start doing it on Sundays because they can't afford to turn the floodlights on. So then that's why we now have football on the Sunday.
Yeah.
It's because of that.
Greece with shit food and shit weather.
We're getting to Greece. England is Greece. I'll say that again. The UK has become Greece because of this mismanagement of the post-war consensus.
Yeah.
The whole country is not today, except it's not in a plastic chair.
No,
it's in a fucking leather chair, just covered in shit.
Yeah.
with coal everywhere and the lights are off.
And it's not today. It's like,
Not today.
not today, Roger.
During the enforced 3-day week, the Daily Mail commissioned a psychologist who gave advice to couples that this was an ideal moment to experiment more in their sex life when the kids are at school.
Fucking hell.
So yeah. So
He's
the
got
kids-
nothing else to do.
I mean, it doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah.
But this is where actually, Charlie, this is
You're a
interesting
child
to
of
you.
the 70s in many ways.
This is where butt stuff really starts.
Yeah.
Because nothing's open.
Nothing better to do.
No, all you've got to do is butt stuff.
Yeah.
So William Batty's back door
Getting
is
blown.
open, wide
Yeah.
open again.
The
Blown
lights
in.
aren't on, so you can do it without feeling shamed.
Exactly.
For all the dirty stuff you're after.
So things in Britain get so bad that Ugandan dictator Idi Amin
this is a real low point, isn't it?
launches a Save Britain fund, pledging money. Fucking, it's comic relief the other way around.
Yeah.
That's how bad
I mean,
we
it's
get.
funny from Idi.
It's
I mean,
so funny.
like Africa getting patronised by Europe so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we're sending Lenny Henry there now. Originally, Lenny Henry was being sent to us, going, fucking hell, look at this. And Idi Amin, right, says he's going to pledge a lot of his country's resources, and he's doing a whip round amongst Ugandans.
A lorry load of vegetables.
Yeah, so he gets there's a lorry load of vegetables that sat on a runway, right? And he's calling the Chancellor, going, can you please send a plane to pick up this veg that my country's given to you before it goes off?
Yeah.
And we're just ignoring him because we can't fathom the idea.
Well, it's just so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, he encourages everyone in
December
Uganda to donate
73,
generously.
Idi Amin launches a sarcastic Save Britain fund to save and assist our former colonial masters from economic catastrophe while offering emergency food supply. I mean,
he's done you there, hasn't he?
he's absolutely done us.
Yeah, it's humiliating.
It's the most humiliating thing possible.
It's such a good bit as well.
It's so funny.
Comedically, that's fucking hilarious.
It's absolutely
To be recently broke us free of colonisation and then sending vegetables back.
I mean,
it's hilarious.
Do you know what?
Fair play. A woman when she successfully parks.
Well, love. Do you know what, Edie? Can I just shake your hand? Can I just shake your hand? He starts sending telegrams he sent a telegram to the Queen.
Yeah.
Being like, please.
These vegetables are going off.
He has introduced this policy in 72, which will, as like a blanket thing for the unions, saying your wages will increase with inflation.
And then inflation
goes through the roof.
Yeah.
And he's going, right, well, we can't afford any of this.
Obviously not.
So the unions are are out of control.
Yeah.
And so what he does is he calls an election in February 74 under the moniker Who Governs Britain?
Yeah.
Us or the unions. They're bankrupting your tax. Your taxes are basically just going to their pockets,
Yes.
and they're turning the lights out.
But there's a lot of sympathy for the miners.
Yeah, because they got shit jobs.
Because they got shit jobs, and there's a kind of traditional sturdiness to the
And also,
miners.
this is, it's hard for people to imagine nowadays, but whole communities are based around a pit.
Yeah. Well, what's kind of fascinating about the nature of work, where mining is terrible work.
Yeah.
But if it gives you a sense of purpose and a role in the community
and friends,
it's like, obviously now that it's been replaced by like you work in a Sports Direct factory, which is safer, cleaner, kind of better work than working down a mine. But you don't have that sort of working class
camaraderie,
pride. It doesn't like
big mug though.
Big mug.
Coal miners.
You don't have a town that's built around being we're a Sports Direct town.
We're a Sports Direct town. Yeah. I mean, you do, but they don't call it that.
It does just show that that's the stuff that really matters, isn't it?
But now, like you have, people are working like hot desking.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite of everyone.
It's alienated work.
Yeah.
It's work. It's kind of humiliating work in a different way.
Whole communities are based around the fact that everyone works in a shit pit.
Yeah.
And so they all go to the same pub. They all go into the same working men's club.
The money they make from the mine, they can afford to have a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
They have a family of with 5 kids. The wife doesn't work, and they can do that by going down the mine.
Yeah.
Do you think pit will ever become slang for fanny?
Yeah, I think it will actually.
I think it will.
They've closed the pits.
They close the pits. Frigid.
Frigid.
You got as soon as you go to the pub,
mine?
you can't get any action.
Oh, they closed
Fucking Thatcher's closed the pits again.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm on a miners' strike, and by minor I mean MINOR. I'm only fucking kids till you open the pits. What? So anytime someone has sex, you go scab.
Splitter.
Yeah, that is the kind of the cucks picket.
Yeah.
Picketing other. No, you're a massive cuck. If you're picketing other people, if you're picketing other people having sex.
Yeah, don't cross the punani line.
Yeah, that's Heath. Heath's picketing anyone else having sex.
Yeah.
That's how much
he has no empathy for it.
He's asexual.
Why would you want to spend any more time than you need with anyone but my mum?
Yeah, exactly. Any woman just gets in the way of thinking about my mum. So, England don't qualify for the 74 World Cup.
Yeah.
You know, England lose the Ashes. The IRA start bombing.
So we're terrible at sport. Is that at all linked with the economy? Is it just the lack of confidence?
Well, just the nation is just crumbling.
Yeah.
You know? And so let's just say you go over a decade, right? 64, Douglas Hume, this towering figure of politics. The country feels good about itself. You know, the greatest Prime Minister we've ever had. You go from Douglas Hume in 64 to 10 years later, you've got, you know, if you're a social conservative under Douglas Hume, you've now got being gay is decriminalised, abortion, the hanging's gone, seat belts, you know, speed limits. You've now got you're in the EEC,
but are you
immigrate? I'm just thinking.
Sort of implying that
I'm not.
Are you implying that this sort of economic situation is because Wilson decriminalised homosexuality?
No, I'm not saying.
So the last episode you said too much too soon.
No, I'm just saying for you know.
It wasn't because they made being gay legal that the fucking.
I'm not saying the lights. I'm not saying the 3-day week is because of homosexuality. Because everyone was too busy noshing everyone off. Like, we can't work.
It's funny, coincidentally, that all these social reforms happen and then the economy collapses.
That's what
they're not
funny.
Linked, but it's funny.
We don't know if they're linked. We don't know if they're linked. You know, hate speech laws are brought in. People aren't allowed to be racist. Suddenly they can't go to work because I'm afraid to open my mouth.
They're Greg Wallace.
I'll either say something racist or someone will shove a dick in it.
Productivity
through
collapses.
the floor. Everyone's just gobbling cocks of all races. There's a rainbow fucking blowjob orgy going on down there.
Yeah, it's a bad optics that they bring in all these social reforms.
Yeah, the optics are bad. I'm just saying
the arse falls out of the country.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're a social conservative in 1964, in 10 years your world's gone upside down. Yeah. And no one's asked you about it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to draw a thread between that lot and that lot today, where, you know, why is immigration such a hot button issue now? It's because no one ever dealt with it. Yeah. And then Powell said it. He was immediately shut down. And there's never actually been any debate beyond it. And so now it's just this issue that's never going to go away.
No. It's the big issue, to be honest. Yeah. For most people, it's the...
But what I'm trying to say is this is where the immigration issue starts. It's late 60s, early 70s.
Consensus has now collapsed. It's now bipolar.
It's starting to be, I mean, the consensus will be dragged out like a fucking end of a toothpaste. Yeah. Sixth wank of the day, the consensus is just about, it's still there, but it's dust. It's absolute dust. So, 5 days before the February 74 general election, Powell delivers this pivotal and explosive speech in Birmingham where he declares that the real question at stake in this election is whether Britain would, quote, "would remain a democratic nation or whether it will become one province in a new Europe superstate," arguing that it was a national duty to oppose those depriving the UK Parliament of its sole authority to legislate.
So proto-Farage.
Yeah, totally.
Farage stuff.
And so Powell tells people to go and vote Labour. Yeah. Right? Points out that the Labour Party's manifesto includes, a referendum on EEC membership because actually, at the time, all the anti-EU stuff is mainly from the left.
Tony Benn,
Michael Foot, all that lot.
Very anti, because they see us becoming just like a vessel for French and German capital.
Yeah, exactly.
And they see it basically, what the EU does.
They think it's a Jewish cabal.
Yeah, because what the EU does, because the far right and the far left hate the EU, because the EU, what it does is it solidifies centrism, right? Sort of technocratic, middle of the road centrism. It holds on to that, so you can't break free. Yeah. So either way, it doesn't work for both of them. That's why, you know, during Brexit, it would have been great to see Corbyn and Farage having like a bromance,
shaking hands,
in the Rose Garden.
Yeah, totally. Because they want the same thing ultimately.
Yeah.
So this effectively throws a hand grenade into his own party's campaign. Yeah. Because Heath had taken Britain into the EC without a public mandate.
Yeah.
So
while there's literal car bombs going off.
There's car bombs going off everywhere. It's a 3-day week, except for car bombs, where it's a 7-day week.
Is the fucking bombs that are happening.
Yeah. So he calls an election in February 74. Now, narratively, we'll put a pin in that and we'll return because 74 is fucking hilarious. Yeah. Absolutely hilarious. But just Heath is a one-term Prime Minister, we'll say that. Yeah. And what we should also mention is that since he died, there have been a slew.
How big are these claims?
Fairly big claims.
Right.
All his allies say that Heath's had a complete lack of sexuality. He wasn't interested in sex.
Asexual.
He's asexual.
Which he does seem that way. Then also it could be because he's hiding his paedophilia. What do you think?
I think the asexuals are probably pedos.
You think all asexuals are pedos?
Probably, yeah.
Right.
Probably.
But they're the good ones that don't do it. They're like, right, I'm a nonce. Therefore, I'm not doing anything with anyone.
So
But do you know are there pedos who are, it's kids or nothing?
No, right, I tell you what this is.
Go on.
The difference here, you've got, in the same way you have incels,
Yeah.
you have ped cells. In that you have
Paedophile celibates.
You have non-offending paedophiles who are ped cells, and you also have involuntary paedophiles, which are people
They don't want to be pedos.
They don't want to be pedos,
But they are.
but they are.
But you're a pedo, mate.
Well, there are 7 victim disclosures for which Sherwood would have been interviewed under caution, and they go from 61 to 92, supposedly indecently assaulting men aged between 12, 14, 10-year-old boy, toilets, paid sexual encounters, saunas.
It's quite a few different ones.
Yeah, there's loads. We don't need to get into all of them, but basically there's a lot of allegations.
What, you mean this guy?
This guy? No. Ted? Big fat Ted? No, he's not a paedophile.
He's an odd man.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon? Do you think he was one?
I really don't know. It's fucking...
If he was a paedophile in the 70s when it was fine.
in Vogue. I mean, the Overton window.
The thing is, yes.
Every private school, every Latin teacher at any private school is a paedophile to get the job.
Yeah, and I think
have to be a
for
paedophile
geography, if you're a geography or a PE teacher, they whittle it down to 3 paedophiles and then choose from them who gets the job. Who's the biggest nonce gets the job. The thing is, I think
Savills on TV just fucking going
Savills
crazy.
going ape. Savills running marathons.
Also, it's because, like the New York blackout, there were
Yeah.
so many crimes that happened when all the lights went out.
3-day week.
The 3-day week was just a absolute bloodbath for
a
paedophiles.
carnival of noncing. The 3-day week, an absolute
It's
carnival.
a fucking horror film, the 70s.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's. I think this is where our national obsession with paedophilia begins.
Yeah,
the 70s.
yeah.
We haven't got over that. I do think this genuinely.
Yeah.
I mean this when I say this.
Go on.
Being a paedophile now is worse than being a paedophile in the 70s
I guess it's...
because it becomes discredited at some point in the 80s.
What do you mean that...
Culturally, paedophilia is accepted in 1970s Britain.
Like there was a debate whether you could use the N-word in comedy up till like 2008. Like
Yeah.
Louis was talking about it, and then
Yeah.
it got ended saying no, you can't.
Yeah.
That happened with
Paedophilia.
Can you
Yeah.
molest a young boy?
And so if Heath is a paedophile, I don't think we should judge him by the standards of today.
yeah,
I think it was a 1970s relationship trend.
yeah, yeah. He was an honourable paedophile. It was like prawn cocktail. It was just like
Prawn cocktail. It's probably what
Pedo
he called it.
cocktail.
Pedo cocktail. You know, it's an anachronism.
Yeah.
It's Savile, it's glitter, Rolf
so.
Harris. This is all
hot
happening.
take on Heath is yes, he's a paedophile, but we're all right with it.
These are pedo. So we've got a cuck and we've got a pedo. That's post-war British prime ministers.
But his legacy, he has to be viewed as a failure as a prime minister, of course.
He was dealt a bad hand, but
Yeah.
he played it phenomenally badly as
He
well.
didn't have political instincts. He was a very smart man and he had right ideas, but he probably shouldn't have been someone like prime minister because I don't think he had the empathy or instincts to navigate
any woman
politics.
MP he's ignoring.
Yeah.
So he's already not speaking to
Yeah.
half the country when he does
Yeah.
addresses because he doesn't see women.
Yeah.
He's
And
a phenomenally
quite
rude man.
uninspiring leader.
And then the fact that Thatcher succeeds him, right? Thatcher informs Heath later on that she is challenging him for the leadership, and he fails. He then goes into what is known as quote the longest sulk in history. When it's not until Thatcher resigns in 1990 that he finally sort of basically starts talking publicly again.
Really?
He's just like he's sulking. He stays in Parliament, but he will not abide. He just can't abide Thatcher.
He's literally
constantly
sulking in the Commons.
Yeah, he's just
for her
she's
entire
speaking.
reign.
He's just like like a toddler, just turning.
He's sulking during Thatcher. And
In 90, when Thatcher was removed from power, Heath was asked whether the report was true that he called his office and said, "Rejoice, rejoice," and Heath replied, "I said it 3 times." He fucking hated her. He hated her. So he's known as the Incredible Sulk.
Yeah.
Because he sulks and he's fat as anything. Look at that photo there. And look at Heath there. He's just like, this fucking woman.
He's the Dalton of Prime
He
Minister.
is. This is why I like him. He's the Timothy Dalton of Prime Minister. Look at him. He's fucking livid. He has to do a photo with her.
Yeah. He refused to work close with her for 25 years.
Because she is his education secretary.
Yeah.
And she actually slashes a lot. She basically kills all grammar schools.
Livid.
Just livid. Just fucking livid.
Give us a smile, love.
Give us a smile, love. Cheer up, might never happen. So, yeah. Edward Heath, if we're ranking him, I'd say he's an incredibly comforting Prime Minister.
In what sense?
As in just going back, because this is where so much of Britain's
current mindset or inferiority complex.
No, I think it's more that if you look at the early 70s and the late 60s, Britain has never been more culturally powerful. Beatles, Stones,
yes,
win the World Cup in 66, Carnaby Street, all that.
Yeah.
And yet, by 74, I'm just wondering, has there ever been a greater distance between cultural power and economic power?
Has power ever gone so far from hard to soft?
Has there ever been a quicker deflation of a dick than Britain's in 64 to 74? Yeah. Like, it's an immediate flaccid, it's a cold shower thinking about mummy.
But then is it sort of like slave songs, the music that came out of that?
Yeah, it's the blues.
It's the Negro spirituals.
It's Negro spirituals. Exactly, that's what this is. Like the Beatles.
Black Sabbath. Their amazing first album, which I only recently got back into since Ozzy Osbourne died.
Yeah.
Shout out R.I.P. But that was in 1970.
Right.
So it's out of this Britain that some of the best music ever written comes.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin.
The 70s.
The Stones. But this is what I mean. This is slave spirituals for a country that's on its fucking knees. And I would also say that... This is where Britain is now, in that all we are as a cultural power. We have no actual power in the world at all.
We're Japan with worse toilets.
We are Japan with no toilets, right? We don't, and this is where in my head, this starts, is Heath's premiership. So
what, the complete shift to cultural stuff?
All we have is cultural power.
Yeah.
Because here we completely fuck it.
Yeah.
Right, and so that's why I think it's comforting. I love how rude he is.
That's why we can export racist podcasts to the world.
It's all we have. We're not exporting anything else. What else are we exporting? We're not exporting... Even the Italians make better suits than us now, right? All we're exporting is racist podcasts.
Yeah.
So I love Heath because I also love... I don't think we've had a Prime Minister since who's been so unpersonable to his colleagues.
Yeah.
He just hates them. He just dismisses them.
He's a true Brit.
He's a true Brit. And he's also the guy at school who we all went to school with and hate.
Prefect.
So I'm a big fan of Heath.
Yeah.
But
let's be honest.
It's about to get even worse.
Yeah.
Because we're about to have Harold Wilson come back.
The tiredest Prime Minister who's ever been in office?
Yeah, this is the most tired anyone's ever been. And it's about to get even looser at the seams.
Yeah.
We're coming back for Harold Wilson's second term, which is possibly the high point or the low point of... I don't think democratic politics has ever been so funny as Harold Wilson's second term. If you'd like that episode and our final episode of this series, where we finally reach 1979... They're both already on the Patreon, where for £3 a month, you can become a truther and you get access to all our bonus episodes. We've done bonus episodes on things like the Raoul Moat manhunt, on...
We've done boner episodes on...
The Zulu special, a concert film.
We got live interview with Michael Vittorio, that was live.
Yeah. We've got loads of
stuff.
Bonus
we do
one
a week. And they're getting better and better, I'd say.
Hitler in Brazil.
Hitler in Brazil,
which is a classic.
And concurrent to this series, we've been doing the Great Train Robbery and the Thorpe Affair, which we'll talk a bit about in the next episode. But that's wild.
And we also talk about paedophiles, our most controversial ep. That was actually the first time we've gone too much for our listeners.
Even for our patrons.
Was NAMBLA, the North American Man Boy Love Association, where we spent 40 minutes talking about a paedophile association.
Yeah, and I think their issue was it wasn't historical enough. But if you have got something wrong with you and you have £3, which is it's a tight margin, then get your dad to write in and send a postal check to this PO box and join our Patreon. Yeah. Anyway, that's been Ted Heath. We will see you for Harold Wilson's second bite of the cherry next time. Good night.
Good night.